Hey, how you doing? I think this is pretty much my first video on YouTube that I did any extensive time on. I'm just don't have that much confidence to be talking on here and thinking I'm good enough to somebody might listen. But that's just my past. It's funny how your past comes back on you and just lives with you the rest of your life in your head. And you fight and battle it all your life. And you try to overcome the negative things that people have said to you in the past. When I was a kid, let's talk about this time. I was a kid. We used to live out in the country. It was out in Somerville. Um, we lived across the creek and up the hill. And every morning when we got up, we'd have to go catch the bus. So we'd walk down the hill that had nothing but trees around us, and we're scared to death. um, and then we'd cross the creek, and we'd jump on the little bricks and stuff to get across or rocks and stuff to get across the street, and then we'd catch the bus. Poor as dirt, man. I used to wash out my clothes every night. I think I had two pair, so one day I'd wear a shirt, clean it out, and it'd dry. Then I'd have the other shirt, and it'd dry. And then the pants I'd change maybe once a week. I'd wash them because it just was poor. You didn't have any, you know, didn't have anything pretty much. We had chickens and we had a little garden in the summer, but in the winter we really had a tough time because we didn't have a stove. We had a stove, but it was a coal stove and there was no coal. So me and my brother would go along the tracks and get coal, put it in a bag and come in the house, and we'd use the coal. Or my dad might go pick up some coal every now and then. Yeah, he's another thing. He was schizophrenic. He used to beat the hell out of me and my mom, and that's the way he thought he was supposed to do, I guess. Not a very good person. He was in service for 8 years, and it just screwed him up worse. We had, like I said, we had the coal stove, and one night, it was on a Friday. We waited all week long because we didn't have any groceries, didn't have any coal for a heater, but my dad was going to get paid that Friday. So my dad comes, or doesn't come, doesn't show up. Apparently he went to Kentucky to drink up his money with his friends. And we were stuck there, no heat, no food, nothing. So back in the day, back in the 70s, you had paneling on the floor, on the walls. So we had to chop up the paneling off the walls. It was so cold that night that we chopped the paneling off the wall and put it in the coal stove to burn. It was terrible. It was a bad day that I can remember that day. I mean, it was worse. I had a brother, two brothers, and a sister at the time. And and my mother, and we all slept in the same bed with blankets piled up. So we survived that night. But you know what? Thank God for public assistance, because that's the only way we got out of it. And she eventually got away from the old man. But man, that really will teach you a lesson on how to be thankful for what you have, because sometimes a lot of people out there don't have what you have, and so I guess that'll teach a lesson on a lot of people out there are not as fortunate as we are. Hopefully I can do a lot more of these and elaborate on my childhood, because a lot of things are interesting, I think, especially with my mother, who was a saint and who had a terrible life for most of the time, because she was so poor and treated so terribly and shitty. Alright, well that's it for this one. Hopefully we'll have a better one next time. I'll get a little used to this and quit being so weird. Thanks. Bye.